It was a dark and stormy night, the kind of night where rationality and reason often take a backseat to fear. I found myself huddled inside my old beat-up car, rain pounding against the windshield like a relentless adversary. The aroma of pizza boxes permeated the air, a scent that usually brought comfort. But tonight it was a harbinger of terror. I was the delivery guy for Luigi's Pizzeria, a quaint little joint tucked away on the edge of town. Our delivery radius was wide, and I'd been dispatched to the most remote of locations before. But this order was different. It came from an address I'd never seen before, and there was something eerie about it. 1313 Elmwood Lane, it read on the ticket, a street I couldn't find on any map. The restaurant was short-staffed, and I was the only one available for the job. Luigi handed me the pizza boxes with a hesitant look in his eyes, a look that said more than words ever could. "Be careful out there, Jake, it's a strange night." I brushed it off as an old man's superstition and left the warmth of the pizzeria behind. The rain had intensified, pelting the car mercilessly as I followed the cryptic directions on my GPS. Elmwood Lane, it seemed, was in a part of town that had long been forgotten by progress. The streets were narrow and winding, flanked by ancient, gnarled trees that reached out like skeletal fingers. As I approached 1313 Elmwood Lane, the houses became fewer and farther between. It was a place where the boundary between the living and the dead seemed to blur. The house I sought stood alone, its sagging porch and peeling paint a testament to years of neglect. I parked my car by the curb, the engine's hum the only sound breaking the eerie silence. I took the pizza boxes and headed toward the porch, the wood creaking beneath my weight. I knocked on the door, the sound echoing through the stillness of the night. There was no response, only the distant rumble of thunder. I knocked again, this time louder. The door swung open slowly, revealing a dimly lit interior. A single, flickering candle cast long, ominous shadows on the walls. The air was thick with a musty scent that made my skin crawl. "Hello?" I called out, my voice barely more than a whisper. "Pizza delivery." No answer. My heart pounded in my chest as I stepped cautiously into the house. The floorboards groaned beneath my feet and a chill ran down my spine. I had to find whoever had ordered this pizza and get out of here as quickly as possible. I followed the dim light, which led me to a room at the end of a narrow hallway. The door was ajar, and I pushed it open with trepidation. Inside, I found a scene that sent shivers down my spine. A circle of old, worn-out chairs surrounded a table upon which sat a crusty, half-eaten pizza. The candles that adorned the room flickered wildly, casting eerie dancing shadows on the walls. But what made my blood run cold was the occupants of those chairs. A dozen figures sat there, motionless, their faces hidden in the shadows. I couldn't make out their features, but the air was thick with an unsettling energy. The room felt like it was charged with some malevolent force. Excuse me," I stammered, my voice trembling. "I have your pizza." Still no response. The figures remained frozen in their seats, their silence a heavy weight in the room. I took a step back, my heart racing. Something was very wrong here. As I turned to leave, the door slammed shut behind me with a deafening crash. I spun around, my heart in my throat. The figures at the table began to stir, their heads slowly turning in my direction. I fumbled for my phone, my fingers trembling as I tried to dial 911, but there was no signal, no connection to the outside world. Panic washed over me as I realized I was trapped in this nightmarish house with no way out. The figures began to rise from their chairs, their movements slow and deliberate. They advanced toward me, their faces still obscured by the shadows. I backed away, my mind racing for an escape route, but the room seemed to close in around me. Just as they were about to reach me, the candles flickered wildly, and a gust of icy wind swept through the room. The figures let out unearthly wails, their forms disintegrating into shadowy mist. In an instant, they were gone, leaving only the empty chairs behind. I stumbled out of the room, my heart pounding, and made a mad dash for the front door. It swung open with ease, and I burst out into the rain-soaked night, not looking back. I ran to my car and sped away from 1313 Elmwood Lane, vowing never to return to that cursed place. To this day, I have no explanation for what I witnessed that night. All I know is that there are dark and mysterious forces in this world that we can never hope to understand, and some horrors are better left undiscovered. So if you ever find yourself with an order to 1313 Elmwood Lane, I implore you, turn and run. There are things in that house that no one should ever have to face, and I fear that they will haunt my nightmares for the rest of my days. Scary stories indeed.